Yo, good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome back. It is Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week, almost. So let's begin our prep here. I have Meta pulled up. Previous day high, previous day low, pre-market low, pre-market high. Okay, we got previous day orb low right here. Let me get the YouTube chat up. All right, sweet. How's the stacks? Good morning. What's up, YouTube chat? What's up, Sean, Isaac, Yushin, Maria? Good morning. What's up, Rolly, Larry, Coolchi, BW, Keaton? What's up, Eric? What's up? Real quick, for those of you in the House of Stacks, yo, what's up, ACV? Can you guys hear this? Can you hear that? That music? Okay, what about now? Is music? Okay, music's gone. Sweet. Yo, thank you, Keaton. Yep, if you guys are in the stream on YouTube, please leave a like. Alright, and those are good pivots for me. Alright, so let's just draw out our zones here. Previous day high supply, previous day low demand, and there is a supply at the pre-market high right here. Okay? So let's say breaking base above the pre-market high. Let's look at the 772.5, 775 calls. Reject off of the pre-market high, 765, 760 puts, okay? Breaking base below the previous day low. Let's look at the 760, 755 puts. Bounce off of the previous day low, 770, 775 calls, okay? Levels below this, you have August 4th low of day. All right, and that's good for me. We can look for levels lower, but we know how to execute intraday. If it's breaking micro pivots, we should scale out. 9 and 20 EMA. So green is 9, red is 20, and orange is your 200. Excuse me. All right, let's get this posted into the watch list channel. Today is August 6th. And this is Meta. Yo, what's up, Ali? What's up, Altair? What's up, Profast? CBC bearish, but we've seen the entire overnight session bought up near VWAP, so it gives a little bit less probability of it playing out. EMAs are not as respected as I'd like them to be as well. Okay, so Meta's posted. Let's move to NVIDIA. Yo, what's up, Yuri? All right, so previous day high, previous day low, pre-market low, pre-market high. Like a pivot there as well. All right, let's say breaking base below the previous day low, 175, 172.5 puts. Bounce off of the previous day low, 177.5, 180 calls, okay? Breaking base above the pre-market high. Let's look at the 180, 182.5 calls. Reject off of the pre-market high, 177.5, 175 puts, okay? All right, sweet. Let's get in video posted. Okay, there's NVIDIA posted. Let's move to Tesla. Kind of want to short this. I don't have 2-minute CVC. You do have 2-minute EMAs. Lower high here as well. Concern is VWAP though. What's the risk? Previous candle high is like 78. What's ES looking like? Previous day low, previous day high, pre-market low, pre-market high. Breaking base below the pre-market low, 305, 302.5 puts. Bounce off of the pre-market low. Let's look at the 310, 315 calls, okay? Breaking base above the pre-market high, 312.5, 315 calls. Reject off of the pre-market high. Let's look at the 305, 302.5 puts, okay? Yo, what's up, Goku? What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Veronica? All right, so let's go to SPY now. We've done NVIDIA, Tesla, Meta. Let's clear out SPY now. Well, how did it play out yesterday? Longs were aiming to defend the previous day high. They fail it. You don't really get a base off of this, but a nice sell-off to the downside. There's the pop up, higher low, higher high. Pushes you back up above VWAP. Anything over VWAP scale and trail, but they also gave you second VWAP. that 10-minute 200 EMA. So great areas, great signals to scale. They also give you pivot breaks, right? Telling you, hey, scale out, trail stop loss. But hit our target down here, 627.34 under that previous day orb high. Just smashed everything. Let's mark previous day low, previous day high, pre-market low, and the pre-market high is right there. Yeah, I just don't like this VWAP play. That's why I'm just sitting on hands right now. I can go long if the CBC flips. Really, the risk to reward for the short isn't bad here, 5 points, but how's the probability, right? 2-minute EMAs trying to cross now, and 10-minute EMAs are bullish, technically. All right, let's say breaking base. Really, the key level is a previous day low. Breaking base below previous day low. Let's look at the 625, 624 puts. Bounce off of the previous day low. 629, 630 calls, okay? Breaking base above the pre-market high. Let's watch 633, 634 calls. Reject off of the pre-market high. 630, 629 puts, okay? Let's bump up to the hourly chart here for the directional analysis. July 29th, low day. July 28th, high of day. Where are we currently? 629. That's plenty of levels to the upside. Maybe just mark that pivot there. Okay, and beneath, let's look at this low, August 4th low of day. I don't think we see $10, $6, more reasonable. All right, so let's type this out. SPY directional analysis. Longs. Aiming to defend the pre-market low 628.7 in order to push above the pre-market high 631.31. Over this, they target previous day high 632.61, 633.15, 634.33, and 635.53. Shorts aiming to defend the pre-market high 631.31 in order to push below the pre-market low 628.7. Below this, they target previous day low 627, 625.24, and then 623.1. Okay, simple enough. All right, sweet. So the SPY directional analysis is now posted. All I ask is that you guys leave a like showing support for the directional analysis. I post this every single morning for free, giving traders insight as to where buyers and sellers potentially are for today's market. So when I get back, let's chart out futures, ES, and Q, pick contracts to watch prior to the market open, as well as get through our warm-up. All right, so I'll see you guys in just a few. I'm back. All right, I am long on NQ right now. Just risking 10-minute candle by candle method. Altair says, Maple, why you always chart on SPY and not ES? One, SPY is great for, I like scalping the 0 days or just using this to trade SPX. Most of you guys look at SPY each and every single day, so I feel like that's the best way for me to provide some value or help to you all. Also, those Hero Zero trades, super fun, right? Risk what you can. We're up on them currently. What am I, 3 for 5 or something like that? So let's pull up ES. Do 10 minutes. Okay, what am I gonna listen to this morning? All right, let's mark session high, session low. Where's the Lorb? Looks like very close to this session high. Struggling here for the longs. All right, there's Lorb high. Lorb low is gonna be right there. Okay, previous day lows right here. Okay, previous day high. Right there. Okay, simple look here on ES. Let's get this posted now into the watch list channel. There's ES. Let's go to NQ. Session low, session high. This is a lower high and lower low. All right, if we do break out, hit here. Previous day or below. Oops. Previous day or below right here. Dude, why is it doing that? All right, there's NQ. All right, let's pull SPY back up here. Make sure it's on a 10-minute chart. We should chart it out, or not chart it out. We should warm up with SPY. You know, keep it nice and slow, not forcing setups or trades. Okay, so we're on a fresh chart. This is the Doodles tab. Looking at price action yesterday. Okay, now I need us all to, make notes of this just so that moving forward, I gave some gains back down here. And I know how the market moves, right? We go from a consolidation range form of price to a trend, back to a consolidation range form of price, right? Then to a trend. So, we had made great money on it. But once you start to see like these larger candles in a trend, or at least in this current leg, that's almost like an exit signal, right? So another example, so like you see this large candle, then you go through some chop for like an hour, okay? That's where traders, in this point in time are going to force trades due to believing that we would see the same kind of continuation that we had just experienced not that long ago, okay? So, another like this, look, large body candles, then you move sideways for, like that's almost 2 hours, okay? Look, large bodied candles, okay, chops around. Same thing down here, right? Starts to accelerate, then it slows. I mean, you can still make some money here, but, don't expect another fat drop. Yes, it happens. Yes, you may have experienced it before, but it is not typical. Okay, so like just like this, especially after like a pivot break, you start seeing like large candles. This is a stop out candle. You're going to see some sellers from the EMAs taking profit down here. Whoops. Taking profit down here. 1 second. I got to pick this up. Okay, so let's go back to yesterday's chart just to warm up. Okay, you can see that CBC was bullish here. Oh, there's another lesson that we have to go over. CBC is bullish here, but they're unable to close any candles with strength above the 10-minute 20, as well as a downside golden zone, right? So from this leg, or excuse me, from this high to this low, you can see that 61.8 fib is met with respect, right? Sellers maintain this level and pushing it lower, right? But that is confirmed by the candle by candle method flip short. Now, very difficult though, because I did get out of my initial short right as we were breaking the 10-minute 200. I think we like bounced right off of it. But that gives great opportunity to hit another account, maybe, trade smaller size, etc., right? It is risky just due to the fact that we did flip underneath a pivot. A lot of us may have recognized that as a flop, but I don't want you to look at every CBC flip over or below a pivot as a flop, right? Because then that creates a bias. We have to have a situational perspective on the market, right? If this, then that. So you can see, yes, CBC flipped short. Well, let me go check my 2-minute chart, right? What's the 2-minute chart showing? 2-minute EMAs are bearish, price below VWAP, no higher low pivots. Correct? Okay, so when we push lower here, right, you can scalp this. Well, let me show you a scalp perspective, right? You can scalp this 2-minute candle by candle method is my preferred scalping method when price action is moving too quickly for me to really gauge a prime entry. So you can see 2-minute candle by candle method flipped short there at 9:48, meaning the candle closed at 9:50, and it didn't close long until 10:30. Right, so about 40 minutes of selling pressure to the downside guided by candle method on the 2-minute. Okay, you do see that CBC flip. It's a 2-minute EMA rejection, 1 minute 20. You're seeing a massive amount of urgency here because you're not, interacting with the 2-minute 20. But CBC flips short, right, on the 2-minute. Again, if it's moving too fast, most traders miss out on trades due to a failure of acceptance of risk, right? They can't identify where they want to risk, and they can't justify executing the trade due to that error. So this is what I recommend. Now, you can't do this every day, right? Because you can get chopped up and you may move sideways. This is strictly for momentum. So candle by candle method flip short. There's the candle high, right? Let's say you hesitate, another candle goes by. What's wrong with you saying, hey, on this current candle, I'm going to risk short as long as this current candle does not close above the previous candle high, right? So let's say you chase it a little bit, pops up. That's about 38 cents, so almost 4 points on ES. You could risk 5 points, whatever you're looking to risk, right? But 5-point risk, let's say you're risking 5, they don't stop you out. CBC sustains as well, so you have those two confluences there, right? Risking 5 points drops down. There's already 10 in, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes. 10 points. So 1 to 2 risk to reward. You can flatten that trade, walk away, or you can stop out according to candle by candle method on the 2-minute. 2-minute CBC flips long right there at $1.16 gain to the downside. That's about 11 points on ES. 1 to 2 risk to reward, right? Now, I do want to go over this as well. I made a massive mistake yesterday, and this is derived from the lesson from 2 weeks ago. But CBC flips bullish here, right? On the 10-minute, what's wrong with this candle by candle method flip? Yes, no, that's right, but the 1-minute EMAs will not always be respected though, right? They'll shake you out more often than not. That's why I like the 2 or 3-minute. What's wrong with this 10-minute CBC flip bullish? Well, I want you all to look at it from a 10-minute time frame perspective, and then I'll drop down to the 2-minute. It's flipping into bearish EMAs. Normally, right, you would think that, hey, we could push up into the EMAs, maybe retest VWAP. No higher low, thank you, right? Also, the following candles after the CBC flip do not close above the CBC flip high. That shows an extreme amount of weakness, right? Extreme amount of weakness, right? The buyers can't even overtake the seller's ask on their own flip candle. Excuse me. Okay, now I love that answer though, Wave, right? Because 10-minute CBC flips. This is the 10-minute CBC dip strategy, right? Maybe we get bill breaker here, 200. So 10-minute long. Go to the 2-minute chart. I don't have bullish 2-minute EMAs. Right? I've seen this time and time again. This is likely a failing trade, right? And I said it like 2 or 3 times. I don't really like this trade. This trade has lower probability due to the 2-minute EMAs not aligning. This is a lower quality setup, etc., right? Look at the 2-minute 20 just feeding everybody. What if you said, hey, I'm a short 2-minute 20, pops up, where's 5 points? 5 points is right here, right? On ES. 5 points doesn't hit, right? If you shorted 2-minute 20, drops down, that's 1R right there at 6 points, a little over 1R. Dropping down a little more, there's 10 points, right? That's 2R. If you hit 2R, you should, even 1R, you should always scale and trail. Okay? Market is about to open here. I'm going to de-risk a little bit, right? All right, so a little 10-point gain. I'm just going to de-risk going into the open here. I'd rather be safe than sorry. All right, but look at this interaction, right? That's the second 10-minute CBC flip. What's the difference now? Right? You have a higher low. 2-minute EMAs have crossed and they're being retested here, right? And they don't give you much continuation, but this is where it reading charts comes in handy, right? Because you have to be able to identify market context. Meaning, sorry, let me finish my coffee. Meaning, hey, we break over the CBC flip high. That's a micro pivot. We break VWAP, right? These are scaling triggers. So wherever you get, let's say you get a little higher here, even though it breaks VWAP, that's only 4 points at the high, like 5-6 points. You have to take that profit, right? Because later entries means quicker profit taking. Okay, you could get shaked out right here. Yeah, look at that. Let's go over this right here. Why does this 10-minute CBC flip fail? 1, the following candle does not close below the CBC flip candle, right? This shows kind of like a golden zone. Look at that. No candle closing beneath the 61.8 fib. All right, great. That's a good 10-minute perspective. So we have the 10-minute perspective. Go to the 2-minute chart. What's the 2-minute chart showing me? I do have bearish EMAs, but when this candle closes, right, I don't see a respect of these 2-minute EMAs. There's no 2-minute CBC flip bullish, and they cross it immediately, right? Then what happens? 2-minute EMAs cross, retest, great area to risk following a fresh cross off the 10 or the 2-minute 20, right? 5 points would be here. We'll say a little higher, right? Because what if you bought off the 9? That's a 5-point risk. They don't hit your 5-point risk. Well, where are you going to scale out? You know that it's a good idea to scale out on VWAP. That's 1R. Pivot break, that's 2R at 10 points. And then a higher high over that pivot break. At the very high, it's 15 points. That's 3R. I don't expect you to get the very top, right? Even if you just set a trailing stop loss over 10 points, walk away, you have a green trade, right? So, all right, well, let's get ready for the market open here. Get all my charts situated. I wonder if we can sweep back into the London orb. NQ is trying to, but they're rejecting off of the 200 EMA. And really, they're rejecting off the London orb as well right now. That's why the keyword there is trying. Of course, Wex. All right, guys, don't forget, okay, I've also partnered with Take Profit Trader. Their best promo ends this week. All right, on Friday. 40% off, no funded fee when you pass, as well as when you take a payout, they refund your eval fee. So then you could be trading your funded account for free for $0, right? Because they'll refund you that initial cost. There's 2-minute 20 test. All right, I'm out the remainder of the NQ. It's a flat trade for me. Gain 10, lost 10. Um, that's probably how today is going to play out, right? I did not expect yesterday. I told you prior to the open, I was like, maybe we see a range day. We did not see a range day yesterday, just because the day prior we had seen a trend. So two trends the last couple of days. We could see some orb price action, right? Am I the guy who did the YouTube video on fake gurus? Your voice is identical to that dude. No, I didn't do that. Sloth says, do I need to cross-reference 2-minute or just running CBC with my 10-minute entry? You can use strict, like when I'm mobile, most of the time I'm just looking at the 10-minute, right? Buying red candles, selling green, stopping out according to CBC or, my max loss per trade. But the 2-minute gives you that risk visualization, right? It says, hey, you're pretty close to the 2-minute 20 or 3-minute 20, whatever time frame you're watching for your EMAs. And that gives you kind of the signal that, hey, this is a lower risk setup, right? That kind of confirmation to execute. Hey, Daphne, chill out, man. Typically, I like to risk around 25 points on NQ. That's about $1,000 risk. And on ES, I like risking about 4 points. Or not 5 points on 4 minis, which is, again, about $1,000. Yo, what's up, Andrew? What's up, Sinclair? Ten-minute EMA test. Hey, good morning, guys. What's up? Right now, what's up, KC? Amp. Right now I see like a lower high, almost double top look off of the London Orb low, 190. You do have 10-minute EMAs, cross and retesting here. On NQ, that is, right? There's a little bit of divergence on the chart between ES and Q this morning. But if I see a close above 190, to me that kind of signals a liquidity sweep from the London Orb that could push us to mid Orb 210 and then the London Orb high 222, right? But if sellers maintain a CBC flip here with a lower high, you could see that lower low play out under VWAP. Throughout the overnight session last night, we saw dip buyers right on VWAP, right beneath it. So really looking forward to see how they participate in the market this morning. But good luck to you all. I'll get the SPY directional analysis pinned at the top, as well as the Wolf Trading X YouTube channel link is pinned as well, right? You can see all of my charts, entries, exits, as well as alerts given to you on that YouTube stream pinned in the nest above. Yes, sir. Yo, I appreciate that. All right, coffee's ready. Taxpayer stream. There we go. Yeah, bro. What's the stream looking like this morning? Guys, 169 of you watching. And only 56 likes. What's going on? Hell yeah, some ribs. Okay. And look, you see this guy? I already know he's spraying it with vinegar and water. Looks beautiful. Oh, I don't know. My bad, bro. I thought it was ribs. Now I see it. He said he's making bacon. I didn't even read it. Meta a new pre-market high here. Here we go. CBC flip short, 10-minute EMAs here. 2-minute EMA is not aligning, but you do have 2-minute CBC. NQ short, 2-minute CBC risk. You also have 10-minute as well. I don't like the 10-minute 20, but look at ES though. Beautiful, beautiful. Don't wick back up. Give me 20 points. There's 15. Don't rip up. I swear to God, VWAP. I should have just scalped. You know, the open is for scalping. You gotta take profit quickly. We'll see if they hold 2-minute CBC here. Motherfucker. See that VWAP, dude? Stopped NQ. Damn, bro. I mean, even on the D-risk, it would have been... It still would have stopped me out. Big bounce. Yes, though. What's ripping this morning? It's just Apple? I don't like the SPY short. Even though market's ripping here a little bit, but it is like right on VWAP. But like NQ's like ripping hard as fuck. I'm looking at the same. It looks like a sweep. Right now they're like trying to close over the orb high or orb low, excuse me. They're about to break pivot. NQ long 2-minute CBC risk. It's just a scalp. It's a lot of like red candle pullbacks with CBC long. Like I mean, I'm seeing on Meta, or not Tesla currently. Still like forcing it at the highs a little bit here. I still like the SPY put look, but this divergence is difficult to read, right? Because NQ is pushed up over the London orb, but ES still showing weakness. See, I'm probably gonna get stopped here. We'll see if the 2-minute holds. Doesn't look like it. Fuck, man. I got stopped NQ again. Dude, I gotta chill. Fuck, man. See, like, that's what I'm saying. Disgusting, dude. I should have shorted green on ES. That was the better read. Long and green candle without a CBC confirmation is not good. 0 for 2. I took SPY 625 puts, Hero 0. I should have trusted my fucking gut, dude. The setup was better on ES, CBC short, green candle. I could have had like 30 cents on these 625s. Green candle pullback here and Q. It's just right on VWAP again though, but do I short this? NQ short, 10-minute CBC, 2-minute CBC risk as well. Dude, watch me just get destroyed today. A reset is needed though. We've been on a really hot streak. I wonder if we get 140 break. It's like 2-minute EMA interaction. Remember, it could be a range day where CBC is not as respected. Hmm. Apple's just too strong. Bro, what the fuck, man? This is so crazy for me. Hilarious, dude. Stopped in queue again. I'm amateur today. Dude, I am trading like ass today, right? And I have to say this just to, keep myself in check. And I think it's also, just good to be honest with all of you. This is the reality of trading. You're not going to win all of the time, but just trading like ass today. And it's only been 15 minutes, so don't overtrade. 0 for 3 on NQ. I'm still holding the SPY Hero Zeros. We'll see if they hold 10-minute CBC. It's probably a better short here into that upper wick, right? They're selling orb, London orb low, and they bounce off VWAP. What did I do? I shorted close to VWAP. I don't really have a read on NQ. Wow, Tesla's going nuts. I'm just going to take a chill pill for a minute. No, Jimmy, you don't have to tell me what to do, bro. I've been trading a long time, made plenty of money. Wow, Maple's having a rough start for the first time in what, 2 months? I know all of this, brother. There's the high push. Flux chart supply right here. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Taking a few losses, not the end of the world. Nice, Jimmy. Even 2 minute candle by candle method hasn't been bad today. I just on the wrong side of these moves. Even though CBC flipped on 2, I should have reversed and went long 85, 2 minute EMA there as well, then breaks the highs. Exactly. Like Joe said, let this be a lesson to us all. Maple is a successful trader who has proven it over the years. Not just a few small wins, years, right? I'm only human. It's just a couple of losses. Uh, I'm not going to go broke, right? I'm not going to starve after today. It's only been 20 minutes. There's still plenty of opportunity as well. CBC is still bearish. It feels like everything you think is a long is a short and vice versa. See, there's the 10-minute 20 on ES. If it flips 2-minute CBC, I'll try a short. Right now, I can't like chase the money. I need to focus on my system. Pre-market low. If these buyers defend this, they could break over 630, but if they do fail, I think previous day low is within range. All right, SPX 6280 put 10-minute CBC risk. Two-minute CBC flip. We could risk 2-minute CBC, but I don't like the 10-minute EMA bounce. Two-minute 20 is bullish, or 2-minute EMA is bullish though. Yeah, they're buying this up. The 25-point pop. Like I said, like everything you think is a long is a short. Like it looks super bullish here, right? I should have just shorted it and made fucking 50 points. And then where it's super bearish, right? Or where you think it's super bearish, that's where buyers pick it up. And we're just trading in this little range. I'm probably gonna get ran over here. See, this is what I'm saying, man. Chasing the money will burn you time and time again. I don't know why, like, I'm shorting this too, like, when Trump's trying to pump Apple. Yo, of course, I'm always gonna keep it real, guys. When you join on the stream, right? If you go on X or whatever, it says, all of my entries, exits, wins, and losses. This is not going to affect me at all. Like, yeah, it sucks losing, money or blowing some accounts, right? This is atypical to what we're normally experiencing, but it's necessary for me to experience these type of days, right? I'm not invincible. When I get super, overconfident, that's where I start to make mistakes. And I mentioned that probably a couple weeks ago, so it was just a matter of time. But I'm not getting a read. Like, I know EMAs are above VWAP, prices above VWAP, but I don't have a CBC bullish, which is like keeping me in that short mentality, especially with ES being short, right? Like, look at, like, oh, do you think it's a long? It's a fucking short, right? And then they drop it. They clear these 20s, it pumps 70s, 80s, but I don't know. I don't have a position on it for NQ. And I'm still in puts on SPX and SPY. Ten a.m. 30 orbs closing 3 minutes. Short NQ, high day risk. I know, dude. Are you in my head? I think, oh shit. I got my payout from top one, bro. Finally. Holy fuck. That's good news for today after getting steamrolled. But again, it's not the market steamrolling me, right? It's not the market causing me to make mistakes. It's myself. It's myself making mistakes. And I have to, I'm not going to talk about myself in a negative connotation, but I have to blame myself or at least take responsibility. 1 minute till the 10 closes. Ooh, they're trying to base off 20s, man. But like one thing I want you guys to not do is to worry about me, right? Don't even, dude. After this, I'm gonna go chill with my wife, right? Probably play some Marvel Rivals, study, and then go eat lunch, right? And just live my life. Take. Is this the first time I've taken a loss? No. Is this the last time I'll take a loss? No. Right? Do not worry about me. I promise you, I'm good. That's what I'm saying. Case is like, they're kind of chopping us up. We've been like, we had two trend days the last 2 days, right? Or at least this week. We're probably gonna see some chop today, right? So let's get our 30 orb set. That's what I'm saying, Hugo. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, Python. Just do not. I wouldn't trade that account anymore. You know what? What's another problem? And I went over this with you guys this morning, but look at the 2 minute, 3 minute EMAs on NQ. Like that's been dip buys for the longs all morning. This is the area for the shorts to defend. Have I ever bought Bloomberg? No, I don't need that. And stopped NQ. Dude, I can't get a grip on today's price action. I did like say, hey, we close above London orb low. It's a liquidity sweep to break the Lorb high, but I hate trading against CBC, and today it's failed me. Not a big deal. Yeah, it's got to close like this. It's gonna go 70s, 80s now. Cut SPX. You see, like, how quickly it can change, though, right? Like, you can go from really hot to just a day where you're not tuned in to price action, right? You're not on tempo. Nice work, Duff. Yeah, here's 70s, 80s coming up. Like, see, there's the 70s, 80s. That's a big extension here. 3 minute, dude, on NQ was on point all day. Like, and I see, like, 3 minutes to close. But, like, so massive mistake on my part today, right? Look at NQ, go to the 3 minute. We've been working on. Look at the 3 minute, man. Look at that 3 minute 20. Right, and that does drop from 89 to 72. So 17 points, still not crazy, but dude, look at that. 3 minute EMAs, and each time it dropped down, I was trying the short, looking like it's rejecting. But even though, and I went over this in pre-market, even though the CBC is against the EMAs, I have to monitor and give a little more weight to that urgency time frame, right? Who's in control of actually moving price, adjusting the bid, raising it, or, vice versa, the ask for the shorts. AD's rejection, I can't buy that. Mm-hmm. 10-minute about to flip here. Closing over, lower below. And I said it this morning too, right? Like a VWAP break, like buyers on VWAP the entire overnight session. You can see right there 6, 8 a.m. Here it is at 10 o'clock last night. Not bad, Daniel. Nice work. See if we can get a 3-minute EMA interaction. Coming back to orb here. This is what I want. What's going on? Why are they acting crazy? Here's a 3-minute EMA. Could be a flop, yeah. Dude, look at this. See, like, it feels very scary to buy this. See, but like, they're just like, they're killing retail this morning, right? Oh, it looks short off the EMA, CBC short, rip to new highs. Now you're seeing it fade back down into the Lord. NQ long, 3-minute EMA risk. Yeah, I've been 3 minutes a little better for tracking NQ. 2 minute is perfect for ES, but who knows? I'm not on the right side of any trades this morning, so yeah, 100%. Do you fucking see this, bro? This is crazy, man. SPX 6340 calls. Me? Yeah, always. Yeah, SPX. Closing her orb high. Yo, what's Bull doing? Oh, okay. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna go shave my fucking head. I'm at Britney Spears right now, dude. Stopped NQ. Dude, I'm ass today. Straight ass today for me. I'm out of SPX as well. So, frustrated with myself today. I shorted EMAs earlier. They rip it. I longed the EMAs. They dump it. This is a range day. No. I don't need help, right, guys? Don't worry about it. You know, if we're just being honest, I've blown like 4 funded accounts this morning. Super atypical for me, but you know, this is a trading session. Like this is what a trading session looks like under tilt, right? Under chasing money and just disrespecting your process, you know? I mean, again, like if I go back and I mark every single, like I was short here, right? And then I longed up this area, and then I longed here, right? I'm just all over the place today when it's an orb range, and really I should have just paced myself. Nice work, War Damn Eagle. Oh, Walmart broke 100. Fuck yeah. And like they gave the CBC signal. I just was tired of shorting and losing, but that did flip over a pivot. VWAP here again. They've hit it like 4 or 5 times since yesterday. BBC flip short. The signal is what I'm like right here. CBC flip, but over the pivot, that's a flop, right? And they just flipped it short. NQ short, 3-minute EMA risk. Yeah, I mean, like the thing is like, this is not the first time, not the first time I've lost. Not gonna be the last time I've lost. This will probably be my first red day in like 6 weeks. As disheartening as it may be, experiencing it, it is necessary for growth, right? And it's a solid reminder that leading with overconfidence will end up burning you at some point. I've been on a really hot streak, and I've got dues for the market as well. Yeah, I mean, I could like sit here and like smash monitors and like freak out or just like rage out, but like, is that gonna be constructive towards progressing in my career? No. I mean, look at the 10-minute EMAs, right? CBC flips short into 10-minute EMAs. It could be a tag, right? Who knows? And I want my experience today to be a lesson for all of you. You may be doing very well, you may be doing poorly. However, you're trading, just know that once you do get a clear understanding or grip on your system, there's still plenty of room for error, right? And like B Trades was mentioning on the spaces, how you move forward or how you react to a day like today where I don't have a winning trade on or have not taken a winning trade at all today. So, a lot of traders are going to be disheartened by that. They're going to, really punish themselves emotionally and talk about themselves in a negative, kind of tone. Um, I've been doing this a long time. It doesn't excuse today's mistakes. I know that a lot of these, trades should have been prevented, or I should have just refrained from executing them in the first place. But again, I know that an experience like this is going to occur in the future again, right? And I must manage my emotions accordingly so that I am not, you know, stripping more mental capital away from my system, right? I could just sit here and have complete disbelief in CBC after a trading session like today. I've taken, 5-6 losses off of CBC this morning. But again, I should have had multiple confluences lining up. CBC is bearish on NQ, but the EMAs were not bearish. That's a no trade signal, or, take an entry as close to the 2-minute 20 or 3-minute 20 as possible. But what I'm also looking forward to is a day like today. This is the pullback needed. I mean, this typically the day after a red day, yes, I'm upset with myself. I put a lot of pressure on, improving in my review, and we climb back up that ladder, right? Momentum is hot normally a day after I experience a red day. So, but if I had to pinpoint, the reason why I'm red today, and it's solely due to chasing the money. Solely due to chasing the money. There's a gap fill like 627. Oh, no one likes losing, and that's why like people refrain from even trading the market. Bottom line is I wake up each morning and I put my money at risk, right? Risk is a beautiful thing, um, but there's no guarantee. Look, see, like, what am I doing? Like, shorting into bullish EMAs with CBC short. Like, yes, I'm trading alongside the CBC. Yes, 2 or 3 minute EMA interaction, but this trade is gonna fail. It looks like. NQ stopped again. And I think I'm probably just gonna call it, honestly. This is where you're only gonna twist the knife and push the knife deeper at this point. Double sweep. Nice, the guy. Mm-hmm. Orb highs like right here on NQ. NQ long, 3-minute CBC. Guys, any more, and I'm just gonna run out of money today. I'll just run out of money today in the next 5 minutes. Yo, I'm great. Nothing like another day losing some money in the market. Makes you feel alive. Hey man, someone's got to do it, right? Someone's got to do it. Dude, I mean, like that's the thing. Like this happens. It shouldn't be like I should have maybe taken half as many trades or half as many losses just cuz forcing setups but what can you do? Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. You got to nail and bail. For me, I'll probably trade ES tomorrow and take it slow. But I mean, even looking at NQ, like I'm more so just disappointed with where I'm recognizing entries today. So like, if I am solely trading off of a 2-minute EMA perspective, right? Like one, price above VWAP. Two, 3-minute EMAs are bullish, right? Each time it sold off, I was thinking, well, red candle pushing down, that's a short, right? That's a novice trader's mindset. Plenty of opportunity here. Now it drops down. Difference between these EMA pullbacks and this EMA pullback, right? Let me highlight them. Is the fact that CBC on the 3-minute was bullish on these EMA pullbacks. On this pullback, this is after a pivot is broken. I went over this yesterday. After the pivot is broken, no CBC flip showing respect of the EMAs, right? Drops down again, EMAs cross and retest. I try a short here, fails. Why? Because the CBC is not in my favor for momentum. Now, it is in my favor on this trade, but it doesn't guarantee a win. I'm not really looking for a red to green day. That's not going to happen. But I am just looking for the remainder of the session. I'm not just going to give up, right? I'll probably leave a little earlier than normal, but just realign or build some positive reinforcement on what I should be focusing on intraday, right? Because CBC, I mean, since the open, was a pretty good signal. I mean, even if you shorted this, right, you're going to get ran over, but then they give you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity because of these little green arrows in that tight range. Yeah, I'm flip. Dude, Bronco account's on fire, and my other long-term accounts are great, so that's what I'm saying, like, oh shit. Dude, this shit up. Yep. Shit, just go to yeah, 25 bucks, 30 bucks, bro. I think like this is exactly like what they typically do, you know, like big pop up, you know, like excitement, momentum fades. Look at that trend line. Fuck. Clean trend line I drew. Scoot like drops it, but then there's the confirmation, right? CBC flip on the daily, EMAs, you know, prices above those EMAs. Now, let me just fix this fib. Yeah. Like today, like just now we're over the daily. Oh, this is the wrong way. 1 second. No, see, yeah, we're just above the 50 fib right here. And 61.8 fib is 1632. Over that, I think that's where we get that push to 1775, that daily supply. So, but I'm gonna be patient with this one. I mean, you know, a lot of people doubt bull, this or that. Their number one like case against bull is what? It's a Chinese stock. Like, what isn't Chinese? Is Apple's a fucking Chinese stock? Is it not? I mean, it relies on China and all these other countries. Is what else? Is Nvidia's a fucking Chinese stock? Do we make any chips here in the U.S.? Nope. Right? Like, so I don't understand that argument when it comes to bull. Like, yes, you know, it's not the same as Robinhood, but room for growth. I mean, when this is over 50 bucks, people are gonna be like, why didn't I just buy at 15, 16? So, you know what I mean? Right. Yeah, got a scaling trail. Nice work, Zid. If we close above orb, to me that shows, you know, possible imbalance, but you know, it looks just like a range day. It looks like a range day, but you know, we already had a double break of the orb. A triple break would be, or I guess this is a triple break. Broke up, broke down, not broke up again. Yo, of course, brother. Yo, appreciate it, man. Love you too, man. See, look at that orb high reject. Yeah, I might just be done skis here. It did go down at 175, 280. Wow, big audience today on Spaces, and I fucking suck, bro. Oh man, that's hilarious. EMA is bullish, price above VWAP prior to pivot break. Buy 632 calls. Yo, 500, Evan. Yes, sir. Well, today's not a great example because I suck today, but normally with SPX, I need to trade off of the orb levels. Like it's as simple as longing orb low for support, shorting orb high, resistance, you know, with calls or puts. With defined risk. Now, typically, you know, I haven't traded very well today, but like we see that orb liquidity sweep, right, breaking out of the orb at 10 a.m. or 10:10 when it closes. Candle closes beneath the orb high, right? You could risk the orb high itself. SPX puts down with a target mid orb VWAP, orb low, new low of day, right? And then same thing, right? They swept the orb low on a lower time frame. They're closing bullish candles above the orb low, 628.23. Same targets, you know, but again, I'm chasing the money a little bit today, getting a bit eager, right? So yeah, and see, look, I took SPY calls at resistance. That's dumb, right? They're paying me right now, which I'm not going to complain about it. But again, there's not a single trader out there right now that hasn't experienced a red day or a day of tilt like this, right? So, oh, 100, dude, this is first red day in 6 weeks. There we go. See, like, here. All right, 40% gain SPY calls. I sold half. Yes, yep. Sorry, I was typing out the alert. Yes, always. A great thing, like a lot of people are afraid of 0 days. I think it's just when I need to scale out of this NQ as well. I'm gonna scale out here, 25-point gain NQ, sold half. No, I'm good now. No, I'm good now. I can scale and trail. But a lot of people are afraid of 0 days, and I understand that. But I really urge them to trade off of the options contract chart. Just like Emp said, you could have won, lost today, long or short, depending upon where your entry was in this range. Pull up a 0 DTE call contract and a put contract, and what I like to do is try to find that support. So you can see support on the 632 calls off of the open pullback was 16 cents. It's eaten off of 16 cents. It looks like 3-4 times now. I only took this entry, I was a little fearful considering my performance today, but I can see on the 1-minute chart the EMA's cross and retest bouncing off of 26 cents. My entry's at 31. And then that gave me the confluence alongside with CBC to push through. Now, also, Edgeful data, it's very rare for us to see like technically today's a triple break. We broke the orb 3 times, orb high and orb low. So it's a super low probability for us to see a quad break. And for me, now of course, these are my first wins of the day and almost an hour and a half going into the open. I have a lot to review, but the main thing that I am focusing on is not deviating from my strategy. No matter what, I'm going to have a red day at some point in the market. But if I start to doubt myself and doubt my system and my setups that I've worked thousands of hours on, I'm going to erase so much progress and confidence in my trading. This is not going to change. CBC is long. EMAs are bullish. I stay in the trade, right? Otherwise, if I, go outside of that, I gamble. But again, just because I took a win doesn't, oh, hey, guys, I could be that furu who's like, we're green on the day again. No, bro. I'm red. It is what it is. I don't really care. Yeah, I mean, like a really early lesson that I try to teach a lot of my members is that especially considering those trading year 1, year 2, is going back and in your review, like you're saying, looking at entries, after the fact you walk away, looking at entries or lack thereof, and feeling that disgust of, man, I keep making the same mistake over and over. Like it's really how you perceive that disgust. You can have a super negative connotation or perspective on yourself or opinion on yourself, or you can use that disgust as a signal, right? Going back into the mental game of trading by Jared Tendler, right? Using our emotions as signals. If I feel that sense of disgust intraday in the market, I have to resort back to my logical self in my review and focus on that lesson extracted from said disgust. Oh yeah, and like just to comment on that, it's like even if it's 25 or 50,000, if that's the cost for you to shift towards a disciplined mindset, do you know how cheap that is? And to newer traders, they might think 25, 50K. I couldn't imagine losing that amount of money, but in regard to risk to reward, that is very cheap. This trading is something that can really provide for you, not only from a day-to-day basis, from a long-term basis as well, just having knowledge of investing, etc. And taking that fear out of the equation allows the trader to monitor or view price action and trading under a much more, I would say, clear outlook. I don't, this conversation I can go in circles around it, right? It's still not going to take away from the fact that I've struggled today, but what I really want everyone to go through, especially if they have struggled or they're experiencing a red day today, is if you don't do this, I really urge you to, but please review your trades. Don't just go over and say, oh, I had a red day, that's what it is, I'll try better tomorrow. You can acknowledge a red day, but truly understanding it is the value within trading itself. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm listening to the spaces right now. Back up 30 points here. Dude, Maria, I fucked up. I had it at 27. Then I had it at 40. Then I just didn't touch it. And then I rebought in at like 119. Added a little more. I think my cost basis now is like 120 something. No, I agree. The max amount of red trades that I will take before I shut down should be 5 today. I'm tilted today, right? I'm gonna be as honest. I have no filter, and what's the point of me saying, oh yeah, like lying about this? Like, what fucking value is that to you guys? Um, I'm tilted today. Bottom line, chasing money, flopping through the directions, predicting price action, what it might do, yada yada yada. I mean, I won this trade. Why? Because CBC is bullish on 3-minute, EMA is bullish, 10-minute CBC bullish, price above VWAP prior to the pivot break, right? Like, that's the only reason why I won. My feelings aren't hurt. I'm not sad about it. I'm about to go try to get gold 2 on Rivals. And this is just another day for me. Yeah, if you guys remember Palmer from a long time ago, I'm sure he's still trading, doing something in the space. I don't know, but and I don't know if he still follows through this, but he says or he said that he equates for 1 red day a week, right? And if you don't experience a red day, great, but continue to equate for 1 red day, maybe 2 red days a week, right? So that when you are experiencing those periods of drawdown, you're not like overreacting. You're not like surprised or shocked that you're experiencing red day, because it takes that guarantee of winning every day, or the thought process that, hey, I can win every day, out of the mix. There's a reason why most of those people who win, the lottery, I mean, this isn't like 100% of them, but I think the statistic is like 75-85% of them end up going broke or bankrupt. These people are moving up too quickly without any sense of, I would say, financial education that would be derived from learning the process. Yeah, of course, guys. And like, I can only convey honesty to you all. Well, the only reason why I'm able to be, loud and proud and those points in time where our caliber of trading is extremely high is due to moments like this, you know. No, and no one wants to hear this, right? Like they only want to hear winning trades. They only see the value in me and shadowing winning trades, and I've taken a lot of losses today, and they're gonna discredit all of my hard work, and that's fine. Do that, right? Doubt me, shame me, whatever it may be. That only pushes me further. And those of you out there in a really low spot today, maybe because you have shadowed or you can't get a grip on the direction, what if you just changed your outlook on your experiences today? Instead of being overly negative and, kind of, I don't know, like sabotaging yourself, why not try to be as positive as possible so that you can improve in the future? That's what I'm saying, it's new to everyone, right? That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are commenting in the chat about it, in the YouTube chat and whatever else. Like, they're not used to me losing. That's fine. We're going on 8 years of this. But one thing that I really, love about trading is that this is a game of self-improvement, Can you outwork the other person? Through all of the trials, tribulations, the gauntlet of emotions that trading puts you through, can you outwork your opponent? Can you outwork your neighbor? And the answer for me is yes, always. I'm really looking forward to charting out tonight, getting a bit more clarity in my trading, affirming a lot of my rules so that, I can improve. The plan for tomorrow, same thing. I mean, not the same experience today, but I'm not going to change my strategy. I'm going to continue to trade CBC. I'm going to continue to watch 2 or 3 minute EMA time frames. I'm going to continue to trade off the 30 orb. Nothing's going to change. It's just about extracting the lesson from the market today. Damn, 9,000 for a new transmission? Fuck, dude. You could just go buy another car. I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the people doubting, like, could you stream in front of thousands of people every day, right? Like, looking at every single move. And those of you in Discord or Spaces as well are hearing it real time. And then, seeing the trade go against you. You're not only losing money, but you're losing, like, people's trust and respect. Like, could you do that every day? This is, honestly, like, I feel like streaming and having, like, there's no way I can hide this, right? Like a loss or a winning day. Having that pressure is really what has improved my trading quite a bit, and it's a strange thing to go through, right? Any of you out there looking to stream, do it, right? Fucking put yourself at risk. Being able to perform at this caliber is not easy. Not easy at all. Because everyone's a fucking genius in hindsight, right? Like, everybody. Like, Jimmy's had a great day, but Jimmy this morning said short all the pops through August, right? This is a pop today. I mean, if you tried shorting this, like, you could get away with one good scalp, but anything other than that, they're running you over, Nice trade, Jimmy. No, and like, and I'm not saying like you're saying, you know, trade range day or on range days trade tickers, like that's fine. But like, there was still money to be made on SPY and Qs. You know, this is user error, of course. Like right now, like what am I up? 55 points. You know, that's, you know, $1,100. It's easing the loss a little bit, not much. But here we go. There is 61% on SPY 632s. Damn, bro, on a Toyota, that's nuts. But like, you know, it went from range day to trend very quickly. Why? Because of this triple break, and you know, we closed outside of the orb high. Shorts are not going to play out on SPY unless we close under orb low. And right now, all of you, do not doubt yourself. Do not doubt your system. Do not be afraid to take a loss. Okay? Like, someone asked just a few minutes ago, what's the plan for tomorrow? Plan hasn't changed, right? CBC will bring me to greatness. CBC will make me $1 million a month, right? That is the goal. Weezer fan, whatever you do, bro, do not go get a loan, okay? Do not, please. Yep, if I remain disciplined and follow my rules, I will dominate. Exactly. I didn't do that today. Yeah, do not go get a loan on a car, please, okay? It's like, if you can't pay for it cash, don't fucking buy it. Nah, I think the only like reasonable debt is like, you know, real estate. All right, there's 60 points on NQ. We just hit the previous day orb low, 303. CBC still bullish. We're getting a bit of an extension after this pivot break, but if we want any continuation, I need to see a strong push over 20s, showing that sellers are removing their ask, and then that gives us likelihood to 70s to 80s. But bro, 70k miles, that's nuts. Now, I don't want to jinx my car or anything. I don't really do much of anything at all to it, but it's done me well. I think I put like 60k miles on it, and all I gotta do is change the oil. I need to fucking do some more maintenance on it for sure, though, I bet. Yep. You're right, Jimmy. That's what I'm saying. Like look at the Bronco Raptor port, right? I posted this yesterday. I'm up. Yesterday I was up. I thought it was 20k. It was $19,500 in just a few months. You know, you can see here April 30th, at the end of April, I went to go look at some cars, and they wanted $69,990 for a 2023 Bronco Raptor. That's fucking dumb. Okay. Started off 69, and this is just money that I was gonna spend on a car, and I was like, well, fuck, if I'm not gonna buy a car, I'm just gonna put it in the market. Right now, where's that balance at? Balance is at $90,340 from $69,000. So what is that? $21,000, right? In just a few months, and it would be still $69,000 had it just stayed in a savings account. Bro, SPY calls. Here we go. Like that lightens the load a little bit there. SPY 125% gain on the 632 calls. I sold a quarter. $0.31. I bought PLTR, Walmart, Google, Nvidia, Bull. That, not heavy size for the Bronco Raptor port, but PLTR fire, man. Guys, and I really urge you, whatever you're making in prop firms, right? Of course, set some money aside for the taxes, but don't go buy stupid shit, please. Like, just invest in the market. And this is the perspective that really helps me, right? I'm young. I mean, I'm getting older, right? I'm 28 now, but in 5 years, am I going to regret not buying your Mag 7, right? Am I going to regret not owning Nvidia in 5 years, or owning Tesla where it is now in 5 years, or Amazon or Google, like, or Meta, Yes, I'm going to regret that if I do not invest today. You're not going to see a large jump. You're not going to get rich in 6 months, 1 year, but in 5 years, you're going to see levels that are likely to not ever be hit again. Now, of course, there can be anything that happens, right? Pandemic, this, that, war, right? But the market, and this is early lesson for me from Dr. Bullshark, right? The market is built to go up. Yeah, I think PLTR goes to $500. Now, of course, there's going to be some shakeouts along the way, but money's flowing. Exactly, Jimmy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I hold, let's say I start a new port right now, in 10 years, right, I'll be 38. That's not old. I joke about age a lot, but that's not old by any means. But you don't even have to, like, put in all of your money, right? You can still enjoy life, go do things, buy things, right? Of course, budget accordingly. But in 10 years, I mean, like let's look at Apple, right? A relatively safe choice when buying stocks. Let's go to the yearly. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you could have a cost basis. Now, of course, there's been, splits and everything, but a cost basis of about 25, 26 bucks. That's 10 times your money, right? Let's go to 26 as of right now, where we are 214. A little bit less than 10 times your money, and that just sits there. If you bought 50,000 of it. That's $500,000 today, right beneath it. And all you had to do was just let it sit. I know, crazy, right, Jimmy? They had $3 billion in cash, and now they just got another $10 billion government contract. Crazy. What the fuck, Paul? $70-point gain in Q. I'm gonna trail my stop loss here. $1,400. Doesn't take away from the fact that I'm red today, but not a bad win. These 632 calls are about to go 200% from 31 cents. We're back up at 84. We could see dollar land. Beautiful. Let's push it. 180% right now. Dude, and look at my, like, I stopped out of the 6340 calls. I should have went hero or zero on those two. I don't know what I was thinking. They were only like $1.75, bro. They're at 770 now. I'm disgusted. There's 200% on the 632s. I'm mad at myself. Those 6340 calls on SPX I had at $1.75. I should have just held them hero zero. Those are $8 now. Oh yeah, yep. Oh, for sure. That's what I'm saying. But like, I feel like even $1.75 risk per contract. Like, I cut it. I think at like 40 negative 40%. You know, I mean, if I couldn't hold like for 100% loss, like, then I don't deserve the 400% gain on SPX, right? So I think I just needed to frame my mind a little bit better. Cause like I have hero zero on the 632s, and these just hit like what? Let me check it now. That's 230%, right? And you know, just simple mistakes like that. But nice trend here outside of the orb. Again, shorts will not play out unless we close back under 630 orb high. Okay, we're up 90 points here on NQ. I'm trying to get that 100 pointer, and then I'll probably call it. Lighten my load of a red day, but still work to be done. Yeah, I appreciate that, because like, you know, a lot of traders, they think, man, I'm red, like I have to end every day green for me, it's not a matter of like ending the day green now. It's just me realigning myself with my system so that I'm not like, predicting getting ahead of myself again tomorrow or Friday, Yeah, 100%, man. And thank you. Because I mean, like for you, like I don't think you're having a red day. I think you're doing great, right? But if you were to experience a red day today, are you gonna change your strategy tomorrow as an experienced, profitable trader, KC? No, not at all. Yeah, because then what are you left to, right? Shiny object syndrome. Oh, let me look at turtle soup. Let me look at SMT. Let me look at ICT, and then you just keep losing with all these different strategies because you have no foundation of your own. So, just hang in there for those of you struggling today. Journal. Don't focus on technicals so much. Everyone's a master of technicals within a month or two. Really try to map out your own mind, please. All right, I sold off to the runners here. 225% gain, SPY calls. I gotta tell spaces. I scaled down to the runners 225% on the 632s. I'm still looking for like 10 points higher NQ. But they did clear out the 20s, so we could see 70s, 80s again. But like it, look at this, guys. Like the Bronco Raptor port is a great example of, over managing trades, day to day. Now, of course, I just make money and I try to, DCA, dip buy. I'm not going to dip buy anything up here, right? I really need to see extreme fear or fear itself, right? Like low 20s on the index. But that's almost like, that is like 30% gain since, I'll say, the beginning of May, because it was April 30th, right? So what is that? May, June, July. 3 months, because it's the beginning of August. So a 30% gain in 3 months on my money just by buying and holding. No options, just buying shares, right? Owning a part of the company. Not looking for greed or this or that. A lot of traders who are forcing their trades will be down 30K in a month or two with a million different executions where all I have to do is just hold. So, try to implement that into your own trading strategy and, lighten your load of stress day in, day out. But like real quick for my own review, like I'm going to pull up NQ. I'm going to post like all my entries and exits. Or I'll just post all the entries like where I went long or short today. And and screenshot it so I can go in my review and try to break down my lack of discipline today. So we're gonna mark green arrows for the buys. Okay, so I went let's see, let's get a red arrow too. Okay, so I went short 2-minute CBC 930, so 930. Fucking stupid. Long NQ, that's at 935. So I longed it buying this fucking green candle. Like, do you see this, bro? Stupid. Then I went SPY puts 939. Not bad. I think what 939 was a little different there. I'll just mark the NQ. NQ short 940. So as this candle opened, I went short again, forcing shorts on VWAP. Then I took NQ short high of day risk 957. So that's right here. NQ long, like I'm all over the place. 1015. I bought the pullback on the 3-minute. Short at 1030. Fucking short at 1030, bro. Oh, I see. CBC short, green candle pullback. Took the loss on that. I think it was a little lower. And then the long at 1041. This is the only winner. Alright, now I just need this for my own review. This is exactly what you guys should be doing. So, like, let me just write down some notes. I wish I had my iPad. Wrongs on, what's today? August 6th. Alright. Alright, trailing stop loss hit there. 60-point gain NQ. All out. Okay. So wrongs today, right? Shorting or predicting VWAP break. Long, no CBC guidance, as well as entries far from 20 EMA. Shorting against 2 or 3-minute EMA guidance or sentiment. Red candle pullbacks, great, but no CBC flip off EMAs. There we go. 2-minute EMA pullback again. Or that's a 3-minute, excuse me. Damn, they just got my stop. That's okay. 3-minute pullback. They ate it up. So I got runners left on S or on SPY and Q on flat. Not happy with my performance today, but still able to execute some profit from, or extract some profit from the market. Trading my system. So, going through these tags, let me blow this. I think I'll just review before I head out of here, but like you see this short right here? There's another short right here too or something. Where did it go? Oh, whatever. I mean, like, if we just look left, the overnight session, they bought VWAP. They bought VWAP. They bought VWAP, right? So going into the open, there's a high likelihood that the buyers do the same thing. And I mentioned this to you guys in pre-market, but I didn't accept the risk. Look at all those. I mean, not a single candle closing beneath that VWAP, purple level. Oh, there it is. So shorting VWAP breaks or predicting a VWAP break is extremely dangerous, right? Like, I know that I saw 2-minute CBC bearish, and that's what I'll use a lot of times to scalp off of the open. But it just completely like rugged me, like liquidated that funded account. Pops up, right? Then what do? I take a long on a breakout. You see, I'm like, well, if the 2-minute CBC short's not going to play out, then the long must, right? That kind of like thought process is just a gambling thought process, right? So I deserve that loss. Comes down, I think, well, shit, they shook me out of the short after taking a loss, or shook me out of the long after taking a loss on the short. It's got to work out this time, right? Again, that's not a valid thought process or trade thesis. I get stopped. CBC is not bullish, right? So I'm thinking bearish at the highs because it looks like potential breakout. But if I look right here in this area, right, what happens on the, we'll just do 2-minute, I don't have 3-minute up. Do I have bearish 2-minute EMAs? No, I do not. Okay. And then when we sell off here, I have bullish EMAs. I try the long. It was a really good entry off the 3-minute EMAs as well, but no candle by candle method flip on the 2-minute or 3-minute. It fails, right? Until what happens? CBC flips bullish and the bearish EMAs, no, like I shorted right here. This looks like a good short, right? CBC flip, green candle pullback, right? But again, I'm shorting a push into VWAP. That always gives me a lower probability for the outcome of that trade in my favor. You also don't have a CBC flip short on the 2-minute EMA perspective, right? Then I see, okay, large push. I trade it 3-minute CBC. It should have stopped me out, but I really held it down to the EMAs here. I see a clean respect of the EMAs now that are freshly crossed with the candle by candle method bullish. And I'm thinking trend because of this orb interaction. So, just putting some pieces in my mind to, kind of think about throughout the day. But I have no doubt that we'll have a much better trading experience tomorrow. But for me, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. We're up, a good chunk here. Let me pull it back up. That's 225%. I scaled here earlier. I just have the runners left. If it does want to continue, right, look at our levels from the daily analysis. Previous day high, 633.15 above that. But again, guys, make sure you are adhering and remaining disciplined to your rules. This will never change. I was all over the place, forcing entries, chasing the money, and I paid the price for that. It may be an expensive lesson today, and it may take me some time to recoup, my mental capital. But nonetheless, I have a system that I can rely on that I should just remain unbiased to, right? Meaning, really what I'm trying to say is, you know, chasing profit, chasing P&L in the market may play out from time to time, but you have to have a system in place to keep you in check. My system was in place this morning. I put too much weight on CBC and not enough on the, you know, 50% portion of CBC, which is your 2-minute, 3-minute EMAs, right? 10 and 2. So, yo, what's up? Bro, twisting the knife. I'm about to get out of here. No, I mean, I've been staying a little longer, till about 12 each day. I don't know if the benefit outweighs the cons, but so far so good. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm probably about to get out of here, go chill, catch up on some chores, and review today's session. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. You guys, please enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I will be back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Go over pre-market prep, trade the market live, and dominate price action. I didn't, you know, we've gone over this the entire session. I didn't do very well today. I'm going to keep it completely honest with you. But I will do better tomorrow and the day after and the day after, right? I believe in that. So until next time, thank you all for your time today. Catch you later. Love ya.